We have come so far together. My goodness. Think about everything we've covered so far. We have talked about your messaging, about your design, about the stuff that's at the heart and core and soul of your brand. Now I'm going to give you one of my favorite tools for helping your clients understand what you're all about. So it really works well for brands to have a metaphor or an idea outside of their industry or actual product that they kind of twist into their brand to give people an additional layer of understanding, like I was saying with your images. So, what I mean by that is if you are let's see, say you're an interior designer who's an explorer archetype, you can twist in the idea of travel, like literal travel, or you could even twist in the metaphor of a specific culture that you really enjoy. And you can use different elements in your brand that are inspired by that specific culture, and you'll help people feel like the whole brand experience is exotic when you're perhaps using not only like the style of their culture, like perhaps in your decoration, but you can even incorporate ideas for like personal development. So I'm trying to make a point here without making an example. So in the Japanese culture, the idea of kaizen or constant improvement is really popular. So I could see as an interior designer having a package that continually improves your clients' homes instead of doing it all at once would be a really interesting way to twist in that culture instead of and to help you stand out in the market. So think of your own themes and metaphors. This can feel like a little bit of a stretch. It's definitely a creative exercise. So if you haven't done this before, be patient with yourself as you're coming up with these ideas. And I'm going to give you some starting places to make this easier. So the idea of compasses, maps, travel, like all of the tools that it takes to get from one place to another is a really strong metaphor for your brand. New frontiers and space travel is a really interesting twist on the explorer archetype. Like I'm trying to think of like actual so like as you're creating new products or services, you could have actual launch events similar to what NASA has and be inspired by them in that way. And again, by being inspired by specific places is going to anchor your brand in this idea of travel, exploration, so like specific types of locations can be a very strong metaphor because they're all so different, right? Like if you visit Canada or if you visit Italy or if you visit Asia, you're going to have a completely different experience. So there are so many different cues that you could take from your favorite place to visit and incorporate it into your brand to give people that sense of wonder and awe. All right, here are more ideas for you. So we talked about cultures and experiences. So similar to the way that Anthony Bourdain travels around and tries new food, you could do that for your own industry. I actually read a book about a brand planner. She works in agencies, or did at least, and she traveled around. I think the book is called Brain Surfing. It's excellent. She travels around the world and she meets with experienced and successful brand planners in her industry. So, like the veterans of her industry. These are the people who build the brand strategy for the really big clients in the really big agencies. And she wrote a book about it. Like she incorporated pieces of her life and pieces of the journey and then all of the lessons learned. So you can become the Anthony Bourdain of whatever you're doing. Also, like camping, outdoors, space, bohemian style has a sense of exploration to it. Being a guide or having a trail. These are all really strong symbolisms and symbols to use in your brand and metaphors that you can twist into what you're doing, no matter what industry or product you have. Also, the idea of minimalism, like owning everything that you can carry in your backpack type of deal. All the different modes of transportation, like boats, planes, and bikes. Things being on the horizon, being in the forest or the woods, being a hiker. Also, like the colonial era where people were literally exploring and finding new lands could be an incredible source of inspiration for you. So get creative, use the reflection sheet in your guidebook to dive into some of these themes and think about the ways that you could actually bring it to life in your business. And do some brainstorming about related themes or things that inspire you as the explorer archetype, and see if you can use that to twist into your business to give it some more context, more depth, and a deeper understanding in the part of your ideal clients.